Hello, welcome back to Playing the Field with Field Journal 007. Welcome back to the SML podcast. Welcome back, SML. Welcome back to Madden 19. We're a few games in now. We've had a couple tournaments. We've all been able to digest the game, what it's got to throw at you. I've got some thoughts. I'm going to lay it all out there. It's going to be a rather brief episode for you tonight. No special guest or anything of that nature, but I do have some things I want to cover. Obviously, Madden 19, much different than Madden 18. Like I mentioned earlier, we did play some tournaments first, and those games were played on competitive mode. Now, competitive mode versus sim mode, I think competitive mode was a better experience. In my mind, there wasn't as many broken tackles. Defense played the way it was supposed to. I know a lot of people say that competitive mode defense plays for you, but not necessarily. I think it just kind of allows the guys to play to their overall rather than sit around and just let plays happen in front of them, which happens on sim mode. I know sim, it kind of adds that more of that randomness to it, more of what happens in the NFL, but I don't know. I haven't really cared for the league play so far, 4 games in. I just think that there's too much randomness. There's a lot more of those tip balls that bounce way up in the air where, we're now going to get picked or a second attempt for the receiver to catch it. They're too common, way too common this year. I think every Madden is based off of how good you can get at utilizing this year's new feature. And this year's new feature is the jump cut. And so far I've seen one person that's pretty much seemed like that he has pretty good grasp on it, one player in our league. And it's OP. I'm just going to say it. Just like anything else, anytime there's a new feature, like when they hit the hit stick, whenever that was introduced, I'm sure that season was all about the hit stick, and fumbles were probably 30 a game. Now, this jump cut, you're going to see guys throwing to the back of space, getting the back of space, where they're able to anticipate just getting 3, 4, 5 yards between the back and the defender, and where they're able to throw that jump cut. I mean, there's just nothing you can do. Your guy just stands there with his thumb up his butt, and that was pretty irritating to see that. Just so far, it's not been consistent at all. And maybe, I guess as when you're on the losing end, it's more frustrating than when you're on the winning end. But I will say that even the games I lost in the tournament games when I was on competitive mode, it wasn't because my team, which the Rams have a pretty good defense, so they shouldn't be allowing so many broken tackles and stuff. But the inconsistencies they're unbelievable. One that I think that I can live with a little bit more is the passing. I think that adding that randomness and really them just adding on to it, compounding it this season, the passing game. If you don't have a great quarterback, he's going to miss throws. I don't believe we have any sliders that are adjusted, and Jared Goff is missing a lot of throws this year. And when you play 6 or 7 minute quarters, that really hurts, that third down or the touchdown. And that I can live with more than, a really good defensive front allowing big runs and things of that nature. So I feel like that's going to be something to get used to, is they're trying to make the game more realistic. You're not able to sit back with the 67 overall quarterback and go 23 of 23 for 6 touchdowns and 400 yards and 158.3 passer rating. I don't think you're going to see that this year. I think the randomness is really going to take some time to get used to, seeing those missed throws. Another thing I really don't care for is the progression. I'm just not seeing any progression this year. I don't like the fact that you can't pick really, even when it's time to upgrade a player. I don't like the fact that you really can't choose what points are spent on which trait. Right now I'd be spending all my XP on accuracy, because Jared Goff is balls when it comes to throwing. I mean, he's terrible. It doesn't matter. I guess, for short to intermediate, probably 15 yards and shorter, he's pretty good. But for the deep ball, throwing on the run, he's really struggling with that, so I would definitely be working with that on him. What else I'm seeing now across the league is guys that were really good last year, not quite as good this year. Guys that really relied on the outside running just to be able to bounce it outside and hit 80-yard touchdown runs. You can't really do that a whole lot, especially when you play on competitive mode, where scheme, and supposedly that's what they made a larger emphasis on this year, is scheme over skill, more or less, to where years ago when I would play, I was all about watching the pre-play. The guy came out in 3 or 4 wide receiver, I'm matching with nickel or dime. The guy came out 2 or 1 wide receiver, I'm matching, with a 5-2, a 4-4, a 4-6, a run-heavy defense. And it was Or if you're on offense, you see a guy's playing quarter, you could check to a run and get 8-9 yards really easily. Whereas the last 3 or 4 Maddens, you weren't able to do that. This Madden, they kind of brought that back, especially if you play on competitive mode, where you're able to scheme more. Where it benefits to be a football savvy person instead of just a guy that gets his ebook off of YouTube or, you know, perfects whatever skill set that Madden throw in. So I guess if you want to become one of the elite in Madden, you really just got to conform to whatever type of player they're wanting you to be. And this year, you're going to have to master the jump cut. I'll have more on the defensive inconsistencies after I played it more on sim mode, but so far I would say that it's been pretty inconsistent, especially, you know, my last game I never seen that many broken tackles, especially out of this defense between the first 3 games. But like I said, it's predicated more on scheme this year than it ever has before. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is this the best Madden you played? Is it the worst Madden you played? Or nah, not much better. So far, I think it's got some steps in the right direction. I've had a decent sample size, and these are just kind of my thoughts about it. I'm kind of, at least in terms of sim mode, I'm not very impressed. I was happier with the game in the tournament games when it was on competitive mode. I felt like, to me, the game played better on competitive mode. Let me know what you think about that. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Sim Madden League. I believe we have an Instagram at Sim Madden League. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. Check us out. If you happen to click on this because you're looking for a CFM, you can apply online, simmaddenleague.com, and I believe we have 3 or 4 teams open right now. So be sure to go ahead and apply. We use our own Twitters. We try to bring the game to you. We try to keep guys more active, because this is a year-round league. So doing things like the Twitters, even if you just send 1 tweet in advance, it's not that big of a deal. Get on there. I'm going to be more active than I have been busy with things with work. But anyway, it's always good talking to you guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, take care. Have a great day.